Hey everybody, Jonathan here. I'm driving on my lunch break here and was able to stop into a game store. Um, it's not really in my neck of the woods, but I was in the area, so I jumped in and was looking at prices of things. And so I'm putting this video out there as kind of a question to everybody. I'm still pretty new. I'm really started getting crazy into the collectible hobby in 2019. And now that, everything's evolving or devolving, depending on your perspective, and I'm becoming more of a collector. I'm trying to figure out what that means for me, what's going to be my collecting goals, what's going to be my flavor, right? Everybody's going to collect in their own way. So for me right now, I'm looking at starting to put together sets. I'm going to try that out, see if that really feeds my collector bug. Right now I just go after just cards that I like the look of, so more about the aesthetics of things versus a certain set or rookie year or something like that. So that's where I'm at right now in my collecting journey, right? I don't know where you're at in your journey, but for anybody out there that's been collecting for a while, and if you treat your hobby like a business, because that's what I do. I treat it like a business. And so I'm wondering how you operate when you go to card stores, right? Now, I go to this card store during lunch, just popped in, didn't have a lot of time to do a deep dive, but I'm looking at the way they operate, right? What are they presenting to me as the customer? They have a wall. I went to Dark Side Games in Las Vegas, if you're wondering. So they have two separate areas. Like they bought out two spaces in the strip mall. One is sports, the other is TCGs. They have more footprint for the TCGs, so Magic the Gathering, Pokemon, stuff like that. So I went into that side first. They have a nice little game room. Everything's nice and clean. People are friendly. I liked it. Good vibes in there. Prices per pack and prices per box seem very reasonable. I got no concern whatsoever. They have a very large selection of Magic the Gathering products. If you're a Magic the Gathering person, I think it's a great place to go. But that's not my intent. My intent is not to go somewhere and play games. That's not where I'm at in my journey through this collectible hobby. I want to build some sets. And so I'm looking at the prices of boxes and cards, and honestly, I'm just like, well, I'd rather just buy them on Amazon. I'd rather just buy them on eBay. And I was doing the same thing at the sports cards. And what are they presenting to me? I walk into the sports card section for their business. And they have a wall of singles, right, on one side. The majority of which is empty. Thought that was really interesting. Like if you were to give it a percentage of wall space, they have shelves and space set up for maybe, let's just say 100% of the wall, and they have maybe 20% of it filled in. So it's like cards are sporadic and a lot of empty holes, and I don't know if that's purposeful. Maybe they're at a show this weekend or something, or preparing for a show. I don't know. It was very garage sale-ish. Yeah, kind of. There's nice people in there. I'm not saying anything negative. I'm just trying to point out that it wasn't very full, and it didn't look, I don't know, you would just expect it to be full. If you have space for 1,000 cards, why do you only have 200 put in the display case? If you don't have the inventory of it, maybe you don't need such a large wall of shelving for your inventory. I don't know. I just found it kind of weird. Nothing wrong with it. It's just not my style. So I go in there and they got this wall of singles, and it's organized by genre. I think that's very common everywhere I go. They organize by genre, and the prices on those cards, I don't think there's anything wrong with them. Okay, I don't think there's anything wrong with any of their prices. But I'm looking at them, and in my mind, as this new collector on a new journey, I'd rather just spend the money getting an entire box on eBay. Single cards are expensive. The ones especially they're willing to display like that. And if you are, I mean, to me, at this point in the hobby, if you spend $1,500 on a card, you're buying that card to hold on to forever. If you're buying that card because you want to have a 10, 20, 30% return, I don't think you're very likely to achieve that goal. You're more likely to lose money on a $1,500 card. Especially sold at a business, because they're going to be selling it at actual market price, and they're going to try to get as much out of it as they possibly can, because they got rent to pay for. They had 2 employees in there, no customers. I was the only person I wanted to. And that's just the sports card side. They had employees on the other side. But right, so like if you're buying at a store, you are most likely not going to see a return on that investment anytime soon, considering the economic conditions we're all living in now, and where the hobby is. And so you're buying that card, you're spending $1,500 because you want to own that card for a very long time, and you don't want that $1,500. And so I'm looking at it like, I don't want to put $1,500. That's too much money for me. That's too much. I don't know if it's, maybe I'm just poor. That's cool. I'm good with that. But $1,500 for one card, where I could buy an entire case of Topps Chrome 2022 update for $1,500. I could buy an entire case for like $1,200. And I could build the entire set. I could probably build, I don't know, 3 or 4 sets out of an entire case. And I get all the hits along with it. And I could sell the sets for maybe $100 each or something. So I want to know where you're at. And if you're treating your hobby like a business, like I'm doing. I treat my hobby like a business. I have money that I have specifically for my business. I do a separate accounting for my business. Everything is separate. It is not a personal situation. It is a business. And there's another layer to that. If you're not aware, as a business, you can't, if you're a reseller in the state of Nevada, I'm assuming it's the same in every state, but you know what they say about assumptions. So in the state of Nevada, you can get a reseller's license. So I'm a reseller, which means I don't pay tax. Now, I've talked to one store in Vegas about putting my reseller certificate on file, so that way I can buy things from them directly without paying tax. And they didn't want to deal with it. They're just like, no, I'll give you like 10% off, but you're still paying the tax basically. And I was like, no, I don't want to do that. eBay, Amazon, other websites, other distributors, you can send them your reseller certificate and get a business account. So I have a business account on eBay. I have wholesale and resellers accounts with multiple supply companies. And so I just buy from them tax-free. So that $1,500 card in a shop, you're also paying sales tax on it. Whereas the $1,200 box of Topps Chrome Update 2022, that box, I'm not paying tax on because that's inventory. I'm buying that for my business. I'm going to put together sets. I'm going to get those hits, and I'm going to try to sell them. And the end user, the person who buys from me, pays the sales tax. And that's why I sell on eBay, because they keep all my accounting records clean. So anyways, if you are a collector and you treat your hobby like a business, I'm very curious what you do. Do you support local card shops? Do you actually support them? And do they support you? Because my local card shops don't support me as a business owner. as an online retailer. And I don't blame them. I don't blame them, because technically I'm their competition, right? So why would they support their competition? I get it. Why would they sell me their products at cost for me to make some kind of small margin off of them, where they're not making the margin off of it, right? So I get it. But at the same time, nowadays, anybody can have an online business. I mean, I'm nobody special. I'm just an average Joe. I was able to figure it out. I have an online business and I have a reseller certificate. So if I can figure it out, anybody can. So if you can buy directly from distributors, like I can buy directly from distributors now, because now they don't care about brick and mortars. They just care that you have money and you're willing to give it to them. If anybody can do it, why do we have local card shops anymore? I understand building communities, but I feel like we build a pretty good community at shows and through social media now. Anyways, those are my thoughts on the situation that's going on, and I honestly don't know if I'm going to continue buying at my local card shop. As of right now, no, but every day I couldn't change my mind, I guess. Take care, everybody.